This is my ultimate Trailmakers F1 car. It's 10 power cores, putting it into Formula League. It has a high top speed, good cornering, and a pretty good lap time. However, there's one big problem with it. It isn't good enough. You see, I built this car quite a while ago, and I think my building skills have improved by then. However, performance-wise, this is still my best good-looking F1 car. So in this video, I will attempt to build my new ultimate F1 car. Basically, the only rules for this challenge is that it has to be 10 cores or under, so it's in Formula League. Can't use any glitches, and it has to look like an F1 car. I can make the aerodynamics better and have more downforce in my new car that I'm gonna build. So yeah, those are the main two things I'm gonna improve on, but it's probably gonna be heavier because of the added like aerodynamics and downforce and everything. It's probably gonna end up being heavier. Also, I think I can make the wheelbase like longer. Modern F1 cars are pretty long. Okay, one thing I want to try using in this car that I don't have in my previous car is active aero, and I think this will be the best piece for that because it's very small, and you know, if you use it right, it can provide a lot of downforce. So I think I'm going to use these like somewhere here. So I'm going to be able to turn them on and have a lot of downforce at the front for turning, and when they're off, I'm not going to have that downforce, and I'm going to have higher top speed. Okay, in terms of the power, so 10 power cores obviously because that's Formula League, and I think I'm going to use the same stuff I used in my previous car. So one of these, two of these, and one of these. See, this is 10 cores. Basically these two are for top speed and this one is for acceleration, and it would technically be faster if I used one of these instead of one of these, I think, but obviously this takes up lots of space and it won't really look like an F1 car at that point, so I'm going to use this one. Okay, the engine, I think I'm actually gonna place it in the front just like in the other one, which is a little weird because obviously that's not where an F1 engine is, but this engine, like the Trailmakers engine, doesn't even look like an engine really, so it's fine. And the reason I'm doing it is for like weight distribution purposes. I'm just gonna figure out how to play these later, I guess. See, just for weight distribution is going to be here. It doesn't really, it kind of like blends into the car anyway and doesn't really look like an engine. Then the propellers and the thruster at the back. Okay, similar to the other car, I think I'm going to use these for the side intakes and kind of like blend it with the cabin, so this kind of like a whole big intake, so it kind of like blends in and doesn't look too weird. Wait, so one thing I want to do with this car, which I didn't do with the previous one, is use these little shields for like kind of the skirt under the car, like F1 cars have, and I'm gonna use it to improve the aerodynamics of the wheels. So like if I have this running all along the car like this, then that makes like the aerodynamics here better, because now this wheel, instead of having all 6 arrows, it only has these 5. And if I do the same at the bottom, now the wheel only has 4 arrows, so that's even better. And then in order to connect all of these, I think I'm gonna like stagger them and then use this, and then one on this side, and then here I can place in this little fin that I wanted to place here. For the downforce, I'm gonna put it on shift and I think something like this. Okay, so now when I press shift, I'm gonna be able to generate downforce at the front. But obviously so far I only have downforce at the front, so I really need to put a bunch of downforce at the back now. So I'm gonna use a bunch of these. Like 2 of these like this, and then I think 1 in here and 1 up here. Okay, so this is what I have so far. Shift for active aero. I think my steering is not good right now. Okay, so lower the angle and up the speed, I guess. Yeah, so now I'm able to go fast. And then when I need the downforce, I press shift and I can turn fast. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted. Okay, now I need to finish the rear and finish off all the... Yeah, just finish off the rear so it doesn't like ruin the aerodynamics and everything. And I think for the intake, I'm once again gonna use this intake because I think it looks good and it has no aerodynamics, so air can go through it. And then this intake behind it to have the sloping. Okay, this is what I have so far. So yeah, it's lots of downforce at the rear, and then this for when I want downforce at the front, so it's actually pretty good. Again, I think I want some sort of an indicator that shows when I'm actually using the active downforce. So here at the rear, I guess I'll use this to not interfere with the spoilers, and then place some lights on it. Oh, these lights have aerodynamics. That's not good. Do these lights have aerodynamics? Yeah, they also have aerodynamics. Okay, so I can't do it like this. So what can I do instead of that? It's a good question. Okay, so maybe remove... These have aerodynamics? So now these are gonna be off by default. Shift. Okay, it looks a little weird, but maybe instead of these, if I use this one, it's gonna be better. I don't know, it looks a little weird in my opinion, but I mean, it's good to show like when I'm using the active downforce, but yeah, I don't know if this is the best way to do that. Okay, what do brake lights look like on an actual F1 car? Okay, yeah, so on an F1 car, they're like right in the middle, like kind of at the bottom. So it'd almost be kind of like here almost. But obviously I can't connect these here. And if I go like this far out, that's too much. Yeah, this is definitely not the solution because it looks pretty bad in my opinion. I could place them like on the sides here, I guess. Okay, this a little goofy, but this way is not too bad, I think. Okay, I think that's a lot of the basics done. All the aerodynamics is pretty good right now. Yeah, right now I'm gonna work on looks and like maybe weight savings or something. Or actually, this light has no aerodynamics. But yeah, it doesn't really fit the... I don't know, maybe I'll consider using it. Okay, so for the sides here, I want to have them like curve more and then I guess connect this some other way. Maybe something like this. Okay, yeah, that's pretty cool, but now there's a gap here, so I'm gonna fill that with this piece because it has no aerodynamics, so it's not gonna like interfere with the aerodynamics or anything. See, right now I'm pretty happy with how this car looks, like shape wise and everything. Obviously it's not painted or anything, but yeah, looks wise, in my opinion, it's pretty cool. Oh, also one thing I forgot to do so far is add logic for the to have the engines, like the this thruster on at all times, like slightly, which will like make it not make that noise every time I press to go forward. I guess I can put the logic gate they can hear somewhere, or I guess a distance sensor is what I usually use. The space thruster is on by default, so you can't hear it. Like when I press forward, you can't hear it turn on every time. Okay, so now I'm pretty happy with the looks, definitely. I just need to test if it's actually fast enough, because the time to beat is like 1:16, which is pretty fast for a good looking car, is like really fast. At least for me. It's usually pretty difficult to build cars that fast. So I'll see if this car can beat that time. I think the top speed is higher and the cornering is probably, like the downforce is higher too probably, but it is a bit heavier, so I'll see. Okay, so I tried to do a couple of runs so far, but I think I should probably increase the angle here, because I noticed this car isn't cornering as well as I want it to. Okay, so I got a 119.6, which is pretty good already. Yeah, like I said, my other F1 car best was like 116. That's like my best. So with some better driving, I don't know, this car might already be better, but obviously I still have to beat the 116 before I can officially say this car is better. So I guess I need to find more ways to improve it. One thing that was happening, as you saw in the video probably, is that the active aero was a little too powerful maybe, because the car was starting to lose control a little, so maybe I'll put that on like 18 or something. Okay, another thing is that I don't really love these lights that much. What if I do this? You can kind of see the light, but I don't know, it's not a good solution probably. Okay, so earlier I said I wanted to maybe try using this light, because it doesn't look like an F1 car light obviously, but it does look kind of like futuristic and cool in that way. Oh, this doesn't have settings, so I can't actually control when it's on or off. It's actually very weird that they did this, not letting the player control when this light's on or off. It's pretty strange. I don't know why they did that, but yeah. Okay, I guess back to what it was earlier, unless I maybe want to remove this spoiler completely. Okay, I could push this spoiler further this way and have the light here. Okay, it's a little scary when you remove a block and it disconnects everything at the same time. I think something like this is kind of cool, and it looks more accurate than what it was earlier, but this stuff around it is too blocky now. Okay, so yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that looks. It is more similar to a real F1 car, and now I just need to like cover this stuff obviously, because now you can see the thruster very obviously. Oh, I know what I can do. One of my favorite blocks. The good old trusty front grille. You can just use like 2 front grills in there. Okay, like this. And yeah, that just blocks everything off. You can't even see inside there. The lights work. You can kind of see the thruster if you're at the right angle, but that's fine. And I'll just try to save some weight by just using like slopes in here instead of full blocks. It's very like minor weight savings, but it's something. Yeah, also these are pretty light. Okay, so now the weight is 182 and the weight of the old one, okay, the weight of the old one is 155.8. See, the old one's a lot lighter. See, right now the main thing holding me back is the weight, I think. Okay, so one interesting thing you might not know actually is that these chrome trim pieces are actually slightly lighter than these flat connectors. Even though it says it's both 0.1, the chrome trim piece is actually slightly lighter, which it's not gonna improve the weight. Actually, like, it's barely gonna improve it by anything, but I guess I'll still do it just because. And you can see right now the weight is 178.4, and then if I replace all these, wait, now it's 178.1. So see, these are for some reason slightly lighter, even though Trailmakers says they're the same. It actually rounds the weights, and for some reason they decided to make these ones lighter in reality. So yeah, it's kind of a weird fun fact. So yeah, I think I pretty much can't really make this car much lighter. I think I just have to race it and hope that it's gonna be 116. Okay, so I just got 117. That's already pretty close, and I didn't do that many runs. That was like my second run or something. And yeah, it was yeah, I'm gonna keep tweaking these. I think run like 17 or something. Yeah, but right now I think it's mainly racing lines. I think this car might already be like better than the other one. Wait, one thing that would make this car a lot more aerodynamic is if I remove these, because then the air would just go straight through. But like, these are pretty important for making it like actually look like an F1 car, so I don't think I'm gonna remove them. I mean, my top speed, by the way, is definitely much higher than the other F1 car, but because of the added weight, I think maybe I corner slower. One thing I just realized I can do that will both improve my downforce and do less, make me have less weight, is to replace all of this with just one 1x6 spoiler, or I meant 2x6. Okay, so like this should actually improve this car quite a bit. So yeah, that just, okay, so that improves the weight and the downforce. And now because I have more downforce at the back, I think I'll put the angle back at 18. Okay, so at this point I was pretty confident that this car was fast enough, so I decided to paint it up. And for the color scheme, so I already made a F1 car that was like had the Red Bull color scheme, and I made an F1 car that had the McLaren color scheme. So for this F1 car, I decided to kind of do like a original color scheme, and for this one I decided to color it like my channel like logo colors, and kind of some like background story on my channel logo. It's actually for a game that I was working on with my brother, but then so my brother was doing like the coding and I was doing the art for the game, and we never actually ended up finishing it because we were both just busy with other things. But yeah, I just have a lot of art for the game, so I just decided to use it like for the logo on my channel, and maybe in the future I can use like some of the other art for like other stuff for my channel, just because I have a lot of it. So yeah, it's kind of like the background lore of the whole logo. Anyways, here I am racing the car with the new livery, and this was my first run, and it was pretty decent, I think. And for my time, you can see that I ended up getting 17.33. And so then after that, I got this run, which had a pretty good start, you can see. Yeah, it just ended up improving, and I got a 16.03, so already at the 16-second mark. Okay, so this is the next run that I got, and I think in this one, yeah, I kind of messed up here, and you can see I'm pretty behind. So then at this point, I kind of decide to go more risky, and you can see I take that corner like super close, and then I take this one super close as well. And here another like risky corner, and yeah, and then after that I just did a pretty decent run, and the time I ended up getting was 15.38, so already faster than the old car. And I decided to change time of day for some reason, just to like change it up, I guess. And I had this run, which had a pretty good start here, and I almost just crashed there. And then I think in this run I did actually crash maybe. So here I'm behind my best time, and there I hit the wall, and somehow, so I'm like very behind here, but then somehow I guess I just caught up by the end, and then I ended up getting a better time, and I take this turn better. So yeah, I ended up getting a better time, and I ended up getting 15.10 on this one. And I think this one's pretty similar. I get a decent start, and then I'm pretty much neck and neck until the end, and then at the end I just get a better turn, like right at the end, and I get a better time of 1:14.9. And this is the last run that I did, so I'm just gonna show this run in full. So yeah, this is the best run that I got. And you can see that I just take all the turns like pretty decently. Yeah, here I go pretty close, and then I think somewhere here I just go into the grass for some reason. Yeah, right here, so that just slows me down. So that's like an area of improvement, I guess. But yeah, for a lot of these turns, you can see I'm trying to use like the active aero as little as possible to not get slowed down. So for a lot of the turns, I was just like pressing it only for like a couple seconds. So yeah, here I'm actually, oh, and you could hear I actually hit the wall there. And here I'm actually pretty close to my best time. And I ended up finishing, and I got a time of 14.4. So yeah, that's basically it. That was the best time that I got, is 1 minute 14.4 seconds. Yes, so to conclude, this car is only like a little faster than my previous Ultimate F1 car. Pretty neck and neck. This one I think is probably a little faster. And yeah, I'll have both of the cars on like uploaded to Steam Workshop, and I'll have both of them linked in the description. If you want to race them, they're there. And yeah, write what you think about this video, write comments. It's a pretty long video and it took a while to edit, so thank you for watching, and yeah, see ya.